So, some time ago, a really good friend of mine shared something with me that has really changed my life, and I'm going to share it with you today. And it's this picture, actually, of a person who is trying to get someplace. And maybe they've spent a long time trying to get to that place. And the path has been very challenging and painful at times. And not only that, but they're not even sure if they'll ever get there. And so they're at a point where maybe they're discouraged, they're tired, and they still haven't gotten to where they want to go. And my friend asked me to picture this person finding a way to where they want to go, where the way itself felt wonderful. And I have to be honest, when I heard this, I really had a negative or a negative response to it. I didn't I don't think, the idea of the path being easy. I think that somewhere in me was programmed that the path needs to be hard, that somehow that gives value to the end result. That it's almost as if the end result gains value the more that we pay into the journey. And so this picture, this suggestion from my friend it was really challenging for me. And at the same time, on a conceptual level, it made total sense. But so I was a little surprised, actually, that it was so challenging. And I'm sharing this picture with you today because maybe you are someone who also feels like the person in the first picture. And I'm going to invite you, the same way that my friend invited me, to just consider a different picture. So picture the thing that you've been trying to move toward. And maybe it feels far away and like you'll never get there. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you just are ready to quit. I don't know. And instead of mustering up the strength to push again today toward that goal, just for a moment, see if you can put all that aside. Maybe even put the goal a little bit aside and look at the path. Is it possible for the path to feel wonderful? Is there any reality in which the path itself could actually feel wonderful? And this can be totally metaphorical, so this doesn't have to be that you think of a way to get to your specific goal that feels wonderful. Just picture someone going towards something. So for me, it's a picture of the ocean, and I'm trying to get to the ocean. And there's all these thorns, and it's just impossible to get there, but I really want to get to the ocean. So for you, it might be a different mountains or whatever it is. But between here and there, can you picture in this picture of yours, can you imagine a different path to the same place that just feels wonderful every step? And can you let the feeling of that sink in for a moment? And can you let yourself actually consider that maybe this could be reality? If you're anything like me, you may be a little bit programmed to believe that it needs to be hard in order for the payoff to be good. Can you consider the possibility that it could be easy and the payoff could still be good? maybe even better, because you'll have something left in you to be able to enjoy it when you get there. So I want to put this more in concrete terms now. I'm going to give you a voice lesson. And this voice lesson is not just for singers. It's for anyone who uses their voice in any capacity. So if you speak at all, this is for you. If you don't, if you're mute, maybe this could still be useful to you in a more of a metaphorical way. So in order for you to make sound with your voice, you have to take in breath and send breath out. If you don't do those two things, then your vocal folds, which are right here, don't have any fuel to cause them to vibrate, and they will not move. There's nothing you can do to make sound without breath. So a very big part of voicing then is breathing. A very big part. And the other things that are required for you to make sound are very, very, I want to say minimal, or maybe just foundational, in that babies are very good at making sound, and they have done no work to study it. So maybe the word is innate. So that if you're able to breathe, you're probably able to voice. And so for me, in my experience, most of the battle of freeing my singing or my speaking voice has had to do with freeing my breath. There are definitely other parts to that. There's a lot of muscular grabbing on that is really important to be able to let go of. But even that is sort of connected to the breathing. So I really want to focus on the breathing right now, because it gives a sort of a physiological image of this path to the metaphorical ocean, or the goal, the tangible goal that you have in your life. And in a way, there's a very direct connection, if you think about it, between your ability or inability to have a free voice and your getting to this goal that you have in mind. Your voice in this world is a very tangible, literal thing, and a very spiritual, metaphorical, human thing. And I have come to the conclusion that those two things, physical voice and metaphorical voice, physical voice and spiritual voice, that they're not so much a nice metaphor for each other, but that they're actually literally tied together. And so I believe that our physical voice, and therefore our physical breath, tells us things about our big V voice, our voice in this world, that is truer than the truth that we might know in our thoughts. So I'm giving you this voice lesson, not just to help your voice, but to help your voice. So back to the voice lesson. The breath is helpful to picture because you can compare that to the path. For me, it's the ocean, and it's this arduous path to get to the ocean. That path is my breathing. And specifically, that path is my labored breathing, my shallow breathing, my challenging, difficult breathing. But when you study the breath, and I always use, and many people use babies as good examples, the unlearned breath is deep and full and free and feels wonderful. And therefore, the unlearned voice is deep and free and can feel wonderful. And I'm going to take it another step and say, the unlearned path to your voice in this world, to your deepest desires for your life, that path is free and can feel wonderful. And so when we find that it's not, whether it is this path to this goal for our life that we have, or whether it is my voice, my physical voice, we know that we have some unlearning to do. So, in a sort of backwards way, I'm going to teach you how to unlearn a little bit of how you use your voice. And I'm realizing this, that sort of the introduction and the foundation for this that I'm giving is pretty long in itself, so I'm probably not going to go very deep into this. Maybe this is just an introduction to another video where it's only a voice lesson, or maybe it's a whole series. Who knows? We'll see. Let me know what you think that this should be leading to, because I'm just talking here. But let me give you something to play with. How about separating out and then recombining breath and voice? Breath and sound. So, no, I'm going to change it. Let's focus on something very fundamental. This sound. Picture it coming from your nose, and it sounds like this. N, 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 n. And try to make that sound. If you're not in a too embarrassing setting right now, try it with me. Go like this. N, 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 n. And every time you go n, n, see if you can make your nose vibrate more. So we're not thinking about anything official. This is not an opera lesson. Nothing from books. All we're doing is trying to vibrate our nose with our voice. Not knowing how to do it is actually better. So, n, 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 and then you're thinking in your head, oh, I want to make my nose vibrate more. So, n, 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 and all you're thinking in all of your life at this moment is, I want to make my nose vibrate more. N, 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 and just keep doing it until you really feel it vibrate. Once you feel like you've increased the sensation of vibration in your nose by any amount, see if you can turn that into a word or a sentence. So this is very basic, but also very, this is probably not taught by anyone, because whatever, we're just making it up. So, n, 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 oh, this works. My name is Nathan. So, n, 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 Nathan. Okay? Now, I'm going to bring this into a song, and I just want to show you something that this may not translate at all, but it might. It might. Yeah. And so I'm just going to preface this by saying I'm going to show you a little bit of how this might fit into the song, and then I'm going to totally switch gears and I'm going to play the song for you, because I'm realizing right now that this song actually relates a lot to this idea of the path not needing to be hard, which I think is just a heart lesson that I hope you get out of this video. But I really want you to feel a little tiny physical version of what I'm talking about. because that helps us, I think, to accept and to know in ourselves the big truth that's underneath it all. So if I decide I want to sing this song and I want to sing it well, and I just go to sing the first line of this song, here's how it sounds. And it may not sound any different to you, but then I'll tell you how it feels. Time is not running out. There is not someone chasing you down. Now, I've been singing for 25 years, so I have habits that hopefully I have a couple good habits in there that are at play no matter what I do when I go to sing. But that was me just deciding I want to do a good job, I want to sing these notes, I want this song to sound good. Now I'm only going to focus on, and so here was my experience. I realized I've been kind of excited in this video to share something. My voice feels tired, and actually this doesn't feel great. So I'm going towards the ocean of here's a song, I want to share it. And I'm having to kind of trudge through the path to get there. Okay? Now I'm going to put my goal aside of sharing a song with you or of even sounding good. And I want to focus instead on, can I just feel wonderful as I walk in this direction? And just please keep connecting the metaphor to the bigger picture. In my life, can I just walk in this direction, but on a path where every step feels wonderful to me? And just be with the arguments that come up from our programming. And really, maybe without having to make the assumption that it's programming, just ask yourself, where do those arguments come from? It's going to be programming, but okay. So this is not for you, and this isn't even for me to sound good. I just want to go on a path that feels wonderful to me. And I'm going to start with this sort of nice feeling, in my nose. Time is not running out. There is not someone chasing you down. You are not gonna drown. Okay, now that may not have sounded any different to you, but I want to tell you how it felt to me. I felt really nice. And there were points where I would wanted to even let go of the notes I was singing to just feel more wonderful, even if it meant that I was going to ruin the notes of the song. So I'm going to close this video with this song. I'm going to specifically make this a version that feels wonderful to me as often as possible. And I'm going to invite you, as you receive the song, to really think about ways that you can do this for yourself all day today. The same thing. And I'm still going towards the song. So I'm not asking you to give up your goals. But as I go towards the song, I'm letting go of how the song looks, how it sounds, in order to find a certain quality of feeling wonderful on my way there. Time is not running out. There is not someone chasing you down. You are not gonna drown. It's just an inch of water, not enough to make you drown. It's just a rope they tied on, but it's enough to hold you down. You could run, you could fly, you have wings, you've always had them. You are not gonna die. It's just an inch of water, not enough to make you drown. It's just a rope they tied on, but it's enough to hold you down, down. You could run, you could fly, you have wings, you've always had them. You are not gonna die. It's just an inch of water, not enough to make you drown. It's just a rope they tied on, but it's enough to hold you down. But it's enough to hold you down. Is it enough to hold you down?